Several more weeks passed without incident. However, Josh's words did nothing to assuage my growing anxiety. I was constantly jittery and now went through a pack of cigarettes a day. I stepped up my care of the old woman's hygiene, peeling her out of her soiled garments every other day and briskly wiping her down with wet paper towels to keep the god-awful odors down and the insects away. She hadn't formed bed sores yet, which was unusual, and that was one less thing for me to think about. During these times, I noticed that she seemed to be conscious and watching me with a smug, angry, arrogant expression on her frozen face. Her death stares were hella scary, I won't lie. Was she really out of it or pretending? I tested this theory once, yanking back her middle finger to a 90-degree angle and hearing a loud popping sound, but the old woman remained silent and unmoving. As we settled into life in Dead Tree, we managed to blend in seamlessly, hiding our true intentions from the unsuspecting residents. The town, oblivious to the turmoil brewing beneath the surface, welcomed us with open arms, extending trust and kindness. Even the local general store provided us with goods, charging them to Nancy's account without question. In our daily routines, every action was a carefully orchestrated lie. Whether interacting with neighbors or taking Nancy out, we maintained this deception with practiced ease. Nancy's injured hand had swollen briefly, but eventually it regained a normal appearance, although her finger had appeared to have mended at a slightly odd angle. In moments of brief clarity, Nancy mumbled to us a story about missing her murdered family and about being desperately lonely before we took over her life. These stories intrigued us, and we found a way to make use of them. "I've always longed for family," she moaned from her filthy prison bed one evening, her voice tinged with sadness. "But fate has been unkind to me. I was never able to have children of my own." "I'm grateful that you two came into my life," Nancy continued, her eyes glistening with her slimy tears. While her words were sweet and all, there was something off about her sad sack story. There was a frigidness to her expression and a coldness in her eyes as she looked at us. At me. Josh and I exchanged glances, our expressions incredulous. Was she actually crazier than we thought? "It's been so lonely since my family passed away," she croaked. I reached out to pat Nancy on the top of her head, as if she were an obedient dog that finally learned the heel command, my voice filled with patronizing warmth. "We're here for you, Nancy. You're not alone anymore." I cut my eyes at Josh, and we both smirked. That night, we fed her a dinner of a half jar of congealed mayonnaise that had been left out on the kitchen counter with its top off. This was a step up from what we had been feeding her, which was our junk food leftovers and occasionally some water. Man, were her farts disgusting. We had to open her bedroom windows and clear the room when she let them rip. She appeared to be losing a lot of weight, too. The next day, we made sure to share Nancy's sentiments throughout the small town, and the residents embraced us as the surrogate family Nancy claimed to crave. Still, I couldn't shake the nagging feeling that we were being played. Nancy began to get more chatty, and we decided that perhaps she could help us take over if we humored the old bat. She told us about her past as a personal chef to Queen Elizabeth II, and this factoid left Josh and me in awe. We had no idea that this diminutive, eccentric woman had lived such a large, illustrious life. We assumed that she had always been a deranged recluse. We listened intently as she regaled us with stories of creating exquisite delicacies fit for royalty. Encouraged by Nancy's newfound trust, Josh was delighted when she disclosed the location of the keys to the Continental to him, which were hidden in a Polish nesting doll in the parlor. She urged us to use the car for our convenience. We were highly impressed with Nancy's culinary tales, so we took her off the drugs completely, gave her full kitchen privileges, and untied her during the day so she could do her business and clean herself up. I sure got tired of wiping her crusty butt. For several weeks, Nancy's improved status saw her creating sumptuous meals in her Victorian kitchen. After weeks of sugary snacks and greasy takeout food, this was an enormous upgrade for Josh and me. Nancy began regaining her weight, and she looked a lot healthier, which uneased me. She also did our laundry for us and her own in her spacious laundry room, which was cool. One night, she made us the most scrumptious pork roast dinner we had ever eaten. "Oh my God," Josh said, stuffing his face. "What the hell is this? Glazed pork?" "You could call it a family secret," Nancy said, winking as she tapped the side of her nose with her crooked middle finger. "The secret is in the herb, clove, and pepper combination, and of course, the meat." I didn't like the way Nancy looked at us as she said that. It was like she was enjoying a good joke at our expense. I smiled awkwardly and put my fork down. "What's the matter, dear? Lost your appetite already?" Nancy tutted. "Yeah, I guess," I frowned. I still couldn't get rid of the nagging feeling that something was wrong. "I'll take it then," Josh said and grabbed the meat off my plate. "I can't stop eating this. It's so good." "Oh, eat up," she smiled, rubbing her shoulder and grimacing ever so slightly at us.